Dear parishioners, parents and people of goodwill, here we are again. And for most of us, we've survived for another week the scourge of contracting COVID-19. I hope I can say the same next week. Anyway, according to this sixth Sunday of Easter readings, we're only 2 weeks away from celebrating the coming of the Holy Spirit. We call it Pentecost, when the disciples received both enormous courage and wisdom for what was promised to them by Jesus, the coming of the Holy Spirit, the third person of the Holy Trinity. A foretaste of that Spirit is given in today's Gospel when Jesus states, "And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to be with you always, the Spirit of truth." The Spirit not only comes to the disciples at Pentecost, but he comes to us in this day and age. In fact, he is with us, he is in us. I can remember many times being led by the Spirit. One of my most thankful times was when I was on a train with other seminarians from Victoria to Burleigh Heads in Lower Queensland, and I noticed this family just opposite us on the train. I felt somehow that call of the Spirit to go over and introduce myself, and after playing 7 hours of cards with them, they invited me and any other seminarians to join them in the future for a free holiday in all the places you could think of but Byron Bay. We started that in May 1975 and have never looked back since. It's not free these days. The people left there many years ago. But through that leading of the Spirit, I've been gifted with wonderful holidays and health over those last 40 years, with a holiday that has refreshed me always for another good year's work, and also helped me to enjoy the warmer climate, in that warmer climate, golf, swimming and walking. I've really enjoyed the sun's rays in that warmer climate. The sun's rays have been like the Holy Spirit coming to me personally. This is essentially what I want to talk to you about today, as I equate the sun's rays with the coming of that Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, as Jesus forecast. And briefly, in case you think that sun's rays are dangerous for cancer, I'll explain it like this. Getting sufficient sun is good for you. Getting too much sun is bad for you. When I've been on holidays over the years, I've seen many young people in particular sunbaking for hours on the beaches. Absolutely crazy stuff. Absolute madness in Australian conditions. No wonder many of them would have contracted cancer later on. I've never contracted skin cancer myself, and I know that it's partly luck, but I've always put more sun cream than is necessary on my skin. It's better to be safe than sorry. However, my main point today is that we do need the sun's rays, like we also need the Holy Spirit leading us and guiding us. What does the sun's ray do for us? It gives us vitamin D. Vitamin D is sometimes called the sunshine vitamin because it's produced in your skin in response to sunlight. Vitamin D has several important functions, perhaps the most important regulating the absorption of calcium and phosphorus and facilitating normal immune system function. Getting a sufficient amount of vitamin D is important for normal growth and development of bones, as well as improved resistance against certain diseases. They say from clinical tests, sufficient vitamin D, mainly through sunlight, reduces your risk of multiple sclerosis, reduces your risk of heart disease, and also helps you to be immune to a certain degree of flu. What I'm now stating on this sixth Sunday of Easter, as we wait for Pentecost, is that like the sun's rays gives vitamin D and all that physical health, the Holy Spirit gives us spiritual help, insights, help in relationships, help with wise decisions, and in particular helping us to enact courageous behaviours, because the Holy Spirit truly leads us to a greater way of living and loving. How do we tap into this Holy Spirit, you may ask? Well, how do we tap into vitamin D? We get out somehow in the sun's rays. So to tap into the Holy Spirit, we need, as Jesus states in the Gospel today, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to be with you always, the Spirit of truth. We tap in by loving each other. Sometimes all that means is to give each other time. Sometimes just through a simple conversation, stopping and propping. We tap by the other main commandment to love our God. Also, often only a simple conversation has the same benefits for us as well. Then we are more likely to be open to that greater, magnificent Holy Spirit as we leave the door more open to the Holy Spirit. That Spirit can then come to us on a train, on a plane, on a bus, in a car, on a stroll. But at least by being open to truth and love, we open ourselves to the Holy Spirit, leading us into greater truth and greater life itself. A greater way of developing our formation as a person through the help and the gift of the Holy Spirit. Over and out again until we meet, hopefully next week, from Father Greg online.